Hello, my name is Erin, and you're watching me try to find my singing voice. Again. We used to sing somewhat professionally. We got voice lessons aged 5 to 18, but we had to take a step back in the last couple of years because of both physical and mental health issues. This series is our attempt on working our way back to both singing skill and confidence. Hi! Long time no see. Hi. If I still have active subscribers on this platform. Hi. It's our first proper video again in many years. We've missed you. The concept of strangers on the internet that support me from far away. Our content is going to take a sharp left turn into music making. We'll still talk about mental health issues and like trauma and shit, but we used to, we used to try to educate people on mental health issues. We're not going to do that anymore. I don't have the energy for that amount of pressure. That world, very, very pressure. I'm just going to stick here and document my journey. That's a lot more chill because terrifying. All of this is terrifying, honestly. All of this is terrifying. Being seen by anybody is terrifying, but we'd like to get better at that. We're starting with having strangers on the internet see us because, if I don't like your opinion, I can just delete your comment. So being open and authentic online is a lot harder for us today than it used to be a couple of years ago, but we'd like to. So here's to try. Yeah, welcome to Finding My Voice. Again, a project we started last year with two specific goals in mind. Get good at singing again, i.e. getting like a voice, the thing that we make sounds with, back, and also get comfortable finding and taking up space. Like, metaphorically get our voice back. We used to sing all the time growing up, but after both psychological and physical trauma, it's been quite impossible for us to, like, sing properly. What we mean with, like, properly is with technique, with warming up, with learning new songs, with trying out things. We haven't done that in the last couple of years. We've still sang, obviously, like, sang along to music and everything, but we miss singing, like as a skill, technique, art form, dearly. So after about 6 years of not singing properly, we felt we were finally ready to start again. In this series, you can expect to see us try and fail and maybe succeed at learning various skills related to singing. Not just singing skills, but also being seen online, for example, stage presence. We will share all materials that we have used to get better, like videos, websites, everything with you as they're coming up, except for the ones that we can't easily give you, like therapy. I can't legally give you therapy. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not your therapist, alone a therapist. We will share all materials with you, so you could also follow along if you wanted to. You're very welcome to. Maybe, but we're not sure yet. We'll have decided this by the time we're uploading. We'll also release little covers that we make throughout the seasons. We started with this journey in spring, I think it was May of 2024, and this season 1 spanned from then until now, so like a year. Spring of 2024 to spring of 2025. This video is season 1, chapter 1. We're currently planning around 4, 5 seasons with about 7, 8 episodes each, and we're going to try to release these chapters once a week, which I hope we can do because we like to plan things ahead, but no promises. Every time we ever try to stick to a schedule content-wise, it's not worked, so I'm not even setting myself up for anything. No promises. And after each season, there will be multiple months in between where we're actually doing the work. Anyways, getting into it, we'd like to start off with a brief recap of our musical education history. It's going to be long, so here's a green text summary. Started singing lessons as soon as we could. Went to singing lessons age 5 to 18ish. Had singing as my instrument in my high school where I had music as my major. I was in choirs my entire life. Musicals, also starring in them. We finished school, job, uni, own apartment. Uh-oh, childhood trauma is catching up. How much longer can we run? What do you mean we? Oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh therapy. Achieve personal safety for the first time. Therapy. Jaw dislocation. Therapy. Go to therapy. Bigger jaw dislocation. Go to therapy. Hey, go to therapy. Remember music. Therapy. We used to need it. Therapy. I think we are ready to start again. Which leads us to here. Not today, I mean the beginning of Finding My Voice. For anybody that is interested and wants to hear me speak about my musical education at large, here we go. Our parents always said that we started singing as soon as we could, that we sang more than we talked. We got to go to Frühkindliche Musikerziehung, which is early childhood musical education. It's just like a playgroup, but focused on music making and learning basics about music, like rhythm and pitch, how to make sounds, things like that. Both her mother and our older sister at the time played the piano, so we figured we could maybe also play an instrument, and we picked the violin. We met with our town's violin teacher for the first time, and he told us, "You're four. You're four. No, your fingers are too small, you have no idea, but you're four. Come back in a couple of years when you think I've grown. But in the meantime, you could go take singing lessons to get used to musical thinking." So we did. We started taking singing lessons at age 5. And then for the next couple of years, we took singing lessons with our friend. And then at some point, we switched over to solo lessons. We were also in different choirs the entire time we took singing lessons. Most of those choirs were organised by our singing teachers though. We switched school and went to Conti, i.e. Gymnasium, i.e. Lycée, i.e. A-levels, GCSE, like higher education that you don't have to do in Switzerland, but we did because we wanted to go on to study in university eventually. With the switch to that school, we had to pick a major, and we picked music. The instrument that we chose was the violin. Mistake. See, our childhood was not healthy. Like, while we got to take singing lessons and violin lessons, and that's a huge privilege, we never got to practice at home. It was heavily discouraged because, you know, in order to get good, you have to sound shitty first. So we only ever managed to practice in lessons, which means that we could not develop as quickly as our peers that could practice did. We never actually noticed this as a younger kid, but we noticed it immediately when we got to this school where we were in a major with other music passionate kids that were all way further along in their musical education than us. So that was like a big damper for musical confidence. Also, our violin teacher kind of always made us feel like we were this prodigy. I'm not sure if we just understood something, like we just took things too literally. We always thought we were like genius level, better than other kids at for our age at the violin. And then we came to school and very quickly realized that that's not the case. It's actually the opposite. We're worse than other kids are. And then our violin teacher had a bad stroke. Same year that we switched schools, he had a stroke. And while our first violin teacher was never a saint, sorry dude, it was more like the abusive ballet teachers you see in movies, you know, like the yelling, the emotional pressure, a little bit of name calling. Yeah, so it wasn't, you know, ever great, but after he had a stroke, he couldn't teach anymore, and we got a different teacher for the first time. And she was fucking worse. She was so much fucking worse. For us, we hated her, and she did not like us very much either. So, at the same time, things at home started going downhill very quickly and getting pretty bad. Practicing became fully impossible. Like, at least we used to practice like once a month as a kid, but then afterwards, after like age 14, no more practice at all was possible at home. We also at this point in time started showing obvious signs of mental illness, having panic attacks daily, and the trigger for those seemed to be violin practice. So logically, we kind of stopped playing and thus progressing. We started therapy, we went inpatient. During this, we worked out that A, our violin learning experience maybe hasn't been that great. B, this trauma causes additional stress that we, at this point in time, can no longer handle due to our fragile mental state. And C, it's okay to not do it all. In conclusion, time to retire the violin. Luckily, our school was very understanding about mental health issues. We were allowed to switch our major from violin to singing. Singing competitively was still possible for us because A, all of our singing teachers that we ever had were angels. So, you know, there had been zero trauma around the singing lessons themselves, and so singing became our main musical focus. So far in the music school, music lessons, we had only learned instrument-specific things, and now that we had music in school as a topic, as a major, we got to learn about music theory for the first time, which was very exciting. We learned theory and we got to also learn basic songwriting skills. Like, as soon as we started learning how to songwrite, we also started songwriting on our own time, not just for school, properly for the first time. We'd always written songs as kids, but it used to be just melodies, and then it became words and melodies, but we just wrote down the words because we didn't figure out how to write down melodies yet. No chords, no structure. But then we learned about how to do all of that in school. and after that our songs became actual songs. I don't really remember which song came first, but I do know that Mine, the song that we wrote, which I can link to, I don't know where yet, was one of the first ones that we ever wrote. I'm not sure if it was the first song we ever wrote, but it was one of the first songs. In that video, you can also see that we were, never machines at singing, but we were like technically skilled because we had spent indeed many years learning singing skills. We're never the biggest fan of our voice, like the tone and everything, and we'd like to change that, to learn to love it. School ended, graduated in the summer of 2018, so 7 years ago. After school, mental health quickly fell off. We got a job, we tried studying at uni, got our own apartment. We were doing horrible. We gradually stopped making music like proper, practicing, learning new things, trying to improve myself. We tried uni, we tried working in the open job market, and none of those were feasible in the long term. We are nowadays disabled. We are doing therapy full time, and nothing was doable in the long run until we started addressing the mountains of untreated and also unacknowledged trauma that we had. It took us 3 years after graduating, so in spring of 2021, to achieve full personal safety for the first time. What we mean by that is the day, like the time where not a single person had any control over us anymore in like a manipulative, abusive way. We've only really lived 4 years in this complete safety. It's been a lot of relearning. We've made a lot of strides, and this is going to be one of them too. Singing music was always there for us, of course, during these past couple of years where we did not make music like professional anymore. We just, we didn't practice, we didn't sing scales, we didn't do exercises, we didn't learn new things, we didn't try to improve our singing, we just sang along to songs, we danced along to songs, and we wrote our own music, but we did not put much effort into like materializing the songs from an idea into a product, a song, a thing. We were still, musicking in the last couple of years, and then we had our first jaw dislocation, I think in 2022. We have hypermobility spectrum disorder, or hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If you're in the know, you know, they're the same, but technically not. A connective tissue disorder that affects every organ in the human body. We started noticing that there's something fucking wrong with our connective tissue when we started having random joint pain that was disabling, and also joint dislocations. Just started randomly dislocating our joints. 2022, we had 2 major jaw dislocations. First off, I don't recommend the experience to anybody. Out of all the dislocations that we've had, we've dislocated our shoulders and our jaw fully, and we've subluxed many other joints. But out of these 2, shoulder and jaw, I much preferred shoulder dislocations. Much easier. The jaw, fucking hell. And the treatment for jaw dislocations is to keep the jaw completely still. Like, as still as possible. You still have to eat, and you still have to talk to some extent, but you're advised to not sing, not eat things where you have to open your mouth a lot, eat soft things so you don't have to chew too much, maybe actually go on a liquid diet for a couple of days so your jaw has time to rest. And after those jaw dislocations, it took us quite a while to be able to function somewhat normally again, because it's our jaw, it affects everything. It took us until the spring of 2024, last year, to be able to think about doing music again, like professionally, somewhat properly, and that is where this story starts. So, GG boys, you did it. You watched the entirety of our musical history so far. The history aside, onto the next topic of this video. We determined 4 aspects that we want to improve in, and we made this little mind map. The 4 aspects are vocal skills, physical, self-care, stage presence, and personal growth. We have subcategories in all of them, and we will go all into that, into the planning and everything in a later episode. We're not just focusing on the singing skill. We're also focusing on, for example, being able to sing in front of people again, because that's not something we can currently do. This first season, we focused on identifying issues, getting back into the rhythm of like practicing music and making music on a regular basis, and starting to plan things out, starting to figure things out, like academically and shit. We lovingly nicknamed it Fuck Around and Find Out, which we know that's not what that means, but fuck around and find out. And if you follow us along on this journey, you will see us do exercise sessions, go to the doctors, and hopefully also maybe some progress. I hope that I can have you along for the ride. That's it for video number 1. Actually, not quite done yet. As a treat for watching this whole video, I will leave you with with a cover 2017 Eric singing Riptide. And I have to warn you, we had not yet figured out how to turn off the classical accent that we have from classical music training. Enjoy. And maybe I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. I was scared of dentists in the dark. I was scared of pretty